Hello, welcome to a non-stream segment. Today, we're going to talk about a VTuber by the name of Nyara, a trans person with a lot of controversies under the belt, like saying how if you can't consent to HRT, you cannot consent to puberty.
Hey, if a trans kid cannot consent to HRT, then why can they consent to puberty?
Which is absurd for many reasons, such as the fact that puberty is a natural process compared to HRT, which are drugs that are provided for use of mental and physical changes. Nyara also talks about how kids can consent to medical treatment.
Talked about age of consent in a video about how children can consent to medical treatment.
Her statement is wrong on so many levels. For one, most countries need parental consent for most medical treatments because kids have no knowledge on the risks, which counters her statements on kids consenting to medical treatment.
Kids literally consent to medication all the freaking time. This is not different.
And there's another point where she compares HRT to getting a vaccine or abortion.
Consent means that your parents have the right to accept or refuse medical care for their child. There's like the Gillick competency. You can get vaccinated, for example, or you can get an abortion if you're a minor without the approval of a parent.
This is so retarded because one, vaccines are used to increase the survivability of a disease, and minors getting an abortion gives it a different connotation, such as irresponsibility, and using it as contraceptives or needing it because they were R-worded compared to HRT, which, don't get me wrong, has risks such as increasing cancer, blood clots, and cardiac diseases, but its main use for aesthetic changes. Nyara tries to radicalize liberals and trans people by alienating centrists and saying they can't tell a right-wing dog whistle is.
Mommies actually fall for this kids can't consent to trans-affirming healthcare argument. I feel like people maybe like in the center who are not really well versed when it comes to like right-wing talking points are just getting swept up a lot, because a lot of these things that they are saying are from a fake point of like compassion. We don't hate trans people, we just want kids to make the right decision.
Which, if you're a parent concerned or cautious about your child on HRT, then Nyara points you out as a bad person who wants trans people to game over themselves.
You can them, which is like what they are saying with like, oh, just do therapy, yeah? Send them into conversion camps where they're being tortured and abused until they're either ending their lives or they're like so depressed and anxious.
So this is my main issue with trans people, is the fact that they weaponize the trans game over rate, because if you don't let a 13-year-old transition, then they turn themselves into a human piata. Which the main reason we allow people to transition to 18 in most countries is because you're an adult who makes their own decisions. But Nyara fearmongers on this and comparing therapy to conversion therapy, with the belief that if you went to therapy, they will literally destroy you and make you not trans or too anxious to be trans or game over yourself. But maybe therapy would help the 1% of regretters from transitioning and help trans people not game over themselves, and maybe help trans people transition. But Nyara is a psychopath who doesn't care about child safety nor trans people and sees everything in black and white.